Welcome back. About 2 years ago, I bought this trailer off Facebook Marketplace with the intentions of finishing the inside and making this my mobile welding rig. It didn't work out. I used it on one job, ended up bottoming out. It was on a narrow path and it just didn't work. So from that point forward, I've converted this into my mobile toy hauler. Although this episode isn't going to have any welding in it, there was a lot of welding and fabrication that was done on this trailer. I'm going to show it to you, I'm going to explain what we're going to be working on today, and I'm going to show you all the features that this trailer has that you guys that are potentially watching could modify and do to your enclosed trailer. I'm going to go kind of quick with all the details of this trailer because it's all covered in a playlist that's very detailed. Overall, it's 7 foot wide, 16 feet long, it's got a V-nose, and it's got a slant top, so it tows very well, and it's completely all aluminum. It's got an electric tongue jack that's self-contained off its own battery, and that has to do with what we're going to be doing today. The first thing you see when you walk in are these cabinets. I built these. It's all aluminum. The trailer has 12-volt recessed lighting all the way around the perimeter in this detail, and this detail right here, this corner trim, this was already in here. It's aluminum. So all I had to do is cut the holes in it and then mount the recessed lights. These cabinets I picked up off Vevor, and this is what holds now all of our motorcycle gear. This holds all our grandson's stuff. This is mostly supplies and more gear. Inside I have a vinyl diamond plate floor. This is commercial grade. I think it might be Husky, and I think I ordered this from Home Depot. All of the track is black, and I purchased all that from Vevor. These are brackets to chock the front wheels. These can come off and be put into any of these on the side, and you can like tuck a bunch of motorcycles along that way. Some of the cooler features of this trailer is that it has wireless cameras inside. These are 1080p, so it has one inside that I monitor from the truck, and that shines to the cargo because I've actually had a motorcycle tip over in a trailer years ago, and it did a lot of damage. So going forward, I said I'm never going to do that again. I also have another camera that's wired into the back of the trailer that helps me, you know, if I'm backing up so I don't crash into stuff. And so that these cameras aren't on 24/7, I have a switch right here that turns them off and on. And you can see now there's a little blue light up in there because these are also infrared. These cabinets I built, I show you how I built them in that playlist. They're aluminum doors. Everything's aluminum. It's all aluminum. The toolbox is purchased from Lowe's. It's a Craftsman. Obviously I built everything to fit around that. This here is a future opening for a winch that you could put down in there. Right now it just stores supplies, some extra paper towels, and motorcycle covers. These doors have magnetic switches that I installed in them, so as soon as you open them, lights turn on inside so you can see. And you see as I close it and open it, works like a refrigerator. Keep some various tools there. Same thing here. Just show you around, I'll explain what we're going to be working on. Up here I've got 120 volt outlets. I've got fast charging ports to charge up phones and accessories and motorcycle headsets. These are powered through this switch, so that these have a little LED light to let you know that they're powered. And I didn't want to leave having this light on for extended periods of time if the trailer is setting and not being used, so you can kill the power individually to this by just turning off that. So this is what we're going to be focusing on today. This is where the power distribution comes in. The trailer is currently plugged in on this green wire right here. I just fish a cord up through it. When it's not being used with a cord in it, I just slide this over the hole, keeps rodents out of the trailer. When I am using it, I just kind of slide it over like that. So when this green cord gets plugged in to this wire right here, that charges the battery that's right in here. This trailer, other than that one receptacle on the bench that I showed you, doesn't really have any 120 volt power. Everything is 12 volt in here. But for today, this battery that's in here, this is actually a car battery. And for those of you that are aware, car batteries aren't made to run accessories like this for any length of time. Car batteries are designed to start your car, to give a bunch of power in the beginning, but not really work on drawing them down steadily over time. It's pretty hard on a battery. But that's what I had, so that's what I've been running. Today, we're going to put a lithium ion battery in this, which is made for this. made to be run down. It has all the benefits of a deep cycle battery, but better because it's lighter, and there's some other features that we'll talk about. So the first thing that we're going to do is work on disconnecting everything. Now, as you can see, this right here, this is a remote control battery disconnect switch. And the good thing about this is that by me having this remote control battery disconnect switch, it kills the power to the jack on the tongue of the trailer so that it receives no power. So that if I disconnect this trailer wherever I'm staying in a hotel, somebody can't electrically press the up-down button and hook it onto their vehicle. They'd have to manually raise or lower it. So by me doing this, I just hit the off button and watch, it'll turn the lights off. See, it turns the lights off. You can see the charger's plugged into 120 volt power, so that's going to stay on. Then turn it back on, hit it again, and all the lights come on. That wasn't a lot of money. I found this on Amazon. So the next thing we're going to do is disconnect all of this stuff. As you can see, everything's on fuses, and everything is labeled what it is and what it needs to be for a fuse.
Figured you guys probably curious what maybe is in the toolbox also. So just basic general tools, earplugs, a bunch of charging cords, motorcycle manuals. I really wanted this to be my mobile welding rig, but it just didn't work out. It's, you know, it's actually too big to use for what I wanted to use it for. These little magnets are all the places that we've been with the trailer, staying overnight in hotels and whatnot. And this is just more tools. This is something else I got to do for maintenance. Then here's just more supplies down here. Lots of maintenance stuff. Oil filters and crush washers, gaskets, oil filters, air filters. Then the bottom one is just all straps. The unfortunate part is, as soon as I start taking some of this stuff apart, we're going to start losing all of our light and everything, so I'll have to get some 12 volt lights in here. This battery works okay, it's just not for like extended periods of time. It will draw down, and I haven't had it go dead yet, but I don't want it to either. The huge advantage of me doing what I'm doing right now is the ultimate goal is to have a solar panel on the roof of this trailer that constantly charges this battery so that when I get it back to my house, I don't have to plug it into shore power. It'll just charge itself. I'm doing this in stages. The first component is going to be, like I said, the battery. And then from the battery, we're going to put a solar controller. This, fortunately for me, is going to work great for charging that lithium battery because it has a lithium option on it. So this is compatible to charge that battery, so I don't have to buy anything there as far as a charger goes for shore power. Then I just got to pick up a couple solar panels and mount them on the roof. So eventually this is going to turn into probably like a welding project, because I'm probably going to build an aluminum bracket for the roof of the trailer that allows all this stuff to mount up. But we are going to lose our lights here pretty soon. But this is going to be a progression, like I said, of getting this hooked over so that it can run on solar and be more self-contained to charge itself. Well, my cameras have the ability to record to an SD card. So I want to be able to have it record, so if someone breaks into the trailer, I can actually capture that. So I need to make sure that things stay running so that I can do that with the cameras. Oh, this is so heavy. See what we get here. I'm excited. I know the battery is like super light. Even this box and all is way lighter than that battery right there. So just from a tongue weight point of view, this is going to be so much nicer. Going to lessen the tongue weight. These trailers have usually a huge abundance of tongue weight, plus this trailer having these tools up here is pretty heavy too. You got a quick start guide and a product manual. Well, it's in a nice little zipper container. We're going to hold on to that because I want to make sure we do this right. The battery post bolts are here. So let's set these aside. We'll put them right down in there. I'm not sure what these are. We're going to have to do some reading. This battery is Bluetooth also. So it can monitor with your phone in an app and tell you what the state of charge is and the condition of the battery. And I've done a lot of research on these batteries and what to buy and what not to buy. We live in a cold climate, and charging a battery or a lithium battery when it's cold out, can actually damage the battery. They won't take a charge. It's not good for them. So they have what are called heated batteries, and this is that. So when the temperature drops to a certain degree, if you want to charge the battery, it heats the battery up to whatever temperature that they've deemed it good to take a charge, and it'll heat the battery so that you can charge it safely and not destroy your battery, because these aren't cheap. And unlike a lead acid battery, these batteries don't need to be vented because there's no chemicals that are going to be giving off gases. Here's a side-by-side comparison. That battery is a lot bigger than that battery, so I might have to do something different because this doesn't fit in my battery box. But just for kicks, let's put this on the scale, each one, and see what we're looking at for weight. Let's start with the lithium battery first. 21.6 pounds. Now let's try the much smaller lead acid battery. 37 pounds on the button. So the lithium battery, that's much bigger than the lead acid battery, putting out astronomically more power, is actually 15.4 pounds lighter than the lead acid. And 15 pounds is quite a bit of weight. You know, it's going to save gas. It's going to just make everything better. It's going to take that extra weight off the tongue. All around, it's going to be much better.
I couldn't make that Group 31 battery fit in that battery box in that space. A Group 24 battery box is the biggest that I can fit in that little area. So for that reason, I'm going to have to use a Group 24 battery. That 31 isn't going to work. And let's see what this one weighs. 21.2 pounds. That's crazy. So it's 15.8 pounds lighter than the lead acid battery, or 7.2 kilograms. As we install this, I'll talk about this battery a little bit, and I'll talk about the other one a little bit. But this one does primarily a lot of the same things that that Group 31 battery will do. And this will also allow me to connect it to Bluetooth to see the rate of charge and all the details of this battery. We'll start by connecting all our grounds first. Here's one. Don't want to make sure I lose any wires. And here it is. Everything is all connected. There's a bunch of ways of doing it. I chose to hook all the accessories to the positive and then all the negatives to the negative on the battery. You could do like a bus bar so that everything connects to a fuse block and then it comes out with wires to that. It just seemed like I would have additional connections because there isn't a whole lot of stuff in this trailer and everything has an inline fuse, so that just made sense for me to do it this way. It seems to me there's less connections by doing it this way, so everything just comes in. There's, you know, half a dozen wires and they just have a fuse block. So this is going to my breakaway system. This is shore power that's here. Everything's labeled and it tells what size fuse. This is a 5 amp fuse. These are for the cameras. So everything is labeled and it's just really easy to figure out what's what. And I'm super excited that this charger that I've been using ever since has the ability to work with this. You can see that, and it's showing that it's fairly low charge, so it is charging right now. We will get this all rigged up with the Bluetooth and I'll show you all the features and everything of this LiTime battery. And I never really showed you inside this cabinet. This one has basically just race gas, some coolant, motor oil, water, and that's for the, usually we just use that for the toilet. There's plenty of light inside this trailer. You can see all my stuff from what I've been doing. If you want to see the whole build to this trailer and what it looked like when I got it, go ahead and check out that playlist. I'll have a link up above. I've done quite a bit of work, as I said, and all of these cabinets I built right here. I was going to put some overhead cabinets up there, but I don't think I'm going to. There's plenty of storage, and I really don't want to add any more tongue weight than what's already on it. I also wanted to show you another thing. I have one of these chargers like for, you know, a battery tender or a battery buddy, so that if you needed to charge a battery up while you went down the road, you could just take the cord from and plug it into here. It's fused inside the battery in that line. Then you just run it back to one of the motorcycles and it'll charge off that battery. And the Bluetooth for this was super easy to do. So I went in and downloaded the app. You can get it on the Play Store, or you can wherever you get it for, you know, an Apple. And then you put in the details by scanning your battery. There's a QR code on the top. So the QR code will get you to download the app if you want to do it that way as well. Then you input the serial number, and then it tells you what your battery condition is. So they ship this with like 20 to 30% battery capacity. That's, I guess, for regulations. That's what it was saying in this literature. So the battery is about 53% right now, and it's got, you know, obviously 53% amp hour capacity. It's at 13.3 volts because it's currently being charged off shore power. So if you see, it's at 60.2 watts of power, 4.5 amps of current, 13.3 volts, and 53 amp hours. There really isn't a lag on this Bluetooth connection between my phone and the battery. Watch what happens to these two numbers when I turn on the interior lights in the trailer. Look how that changes instantly. I thought that was really impressive for how fast this communicates with that battery. And this has a battery monitoring system built in the battery, and it says that the BMS is running smoothly. You can check the cell status. It's normal and they're functioning optimally. And if you had multiple batteries all connected at one, it would tell you what your balance status is between those. And this manual has a lot of information on how to balance the batteries, how to make connections. It's got a lot of literature, stuff that I probably won't use. Even gives you cable sizes to hook all this stuff up so that you're doing it right. It's showing the last time that I checked it. It's always going to maintain that last status until you reconnect it. So it's not wasting your battery on your phone. So the way you reconnect to see your state of charge is just tap the battery and you'll see that change. And there we are, we're at 99%. Now if you tap this icon down at the bottom, it'll bring up another screen. So the discharge switch, if I toggle this off, it's going to turn off the battery so it doesn't output power, yet it'll still allow it to be charged. So this switch is doing the same thing that this is doing right here. So watch, if I tap this, the lights will turn off inside the trailer. There it goes. The power off button completely shuts the battery down, so it doesn't allow any power to go out and it doesn't allow any power to come in. So it stops it from charging and it stops it from outputting voltage. It's basically as though you've taken the cables off the battery altogether and it's just sitting there idle. As I said, this is a really simple setup compared to some, but eventually I'm going to get a solar control charger mounted in this cabinet, and then I'm going to put 2 panels on the roof. It's just going to be a very basic system that tops off this battery, so I don't necessarily have to plug it into shore power. I think as the weather gets a little bit cooler, my wife and I might even attempt to stay in this thing overnight, I don't know. But overall, I'm really happy with this setup. I like that it was just kind of a plug and play for right now. I really wish this Group 31 battery would have worked, but it's just too big to fit in that space. And one of the advantages of this battery over that Group 24 is that this has the Smart 5.0 Bluetooth. This battery actually heats itself up, so it's much more ideal for doing this type of setup with an RV, something that's going to be in cold climate, because as I said earlier, if you charge one of these batteries when it's cold, you can actually damage it. This battery right here does not have that internal heater that just turns on automatically. But as of right now, I don't think they make a Group 24 battery that has the automatic heat in it. This Group 31 battery is just so much more sophisticated than this one. I just really wish this would fit there, because that would really ultimately be what this trailer needs. Then it's set it and forget it. If you guys have a camper, or you have an RV or something like this, a toy hauler to keep your stuff in, and maybe you park it and you live in a cold climate and you're not using it a lot in the winter, but you want to put it on a trickle charger, this Group 31 battery with Smart Bluetooth 5.0 and this Complex, this is really the way to go. I've even thought about maybe pulling the bench ahead, moving this whole thing forward a little bit so I could fit that in there, but that would just pose even more problems. Now I've got to end up cutting my tracks shorter. And then the motorcycle chocks that are already in the floor that are placed where they should be for balanced weight are going to be too close because now the cabinet's going to be further back. There's just really no way around it. And that's all there is to it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. New videos every Friday. Be sure to check out the playlist for this trailer. We did a lot of work to it. It looks a lot different now than it does when I brought it home. Till next week, I will see you then. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. And if you're wondering about any of the stuff or links for products that I'm using, I'll have links down below. See ya.